Okay guys, this is Cruise Roy with the UpAir 1. I just want to go over a few mods that'll make your life a hell of a lot easier with this drone. It's a very inexpensive drone. It's got FPV, it's got the screen built onto the transmitter, it's got everything you could ask for, and I think it's $295 now for the 2K, and the 4K is about $395 or something, so you really can't beat the price. And a lot of the Hong Kong areas or China, you're getting it for free shipping, so you're getting a really good deal with this. The only problem is, just like anything else, it's got bugs. A few mods that I've done to make my life easier, I got 2 of them. I get toilet bowl every now and then, but pretty much, and I had a drop out of the sky, but that was my own fault. But I just want to show you a few things and explain a few things that I did to make these mods. First, I do not use UpAir propellers. These are DJI Phantom 3 standard props. Alright, you can buy a set of 8 for 24 bucks. And they're a lot better balanced than the UpAirs, and when they hit things, they just don't shatter. Alright, so we'll talk about batteries. This is an original UpAir battery. This is an original UpAir battery, but I got the blinking light of death, so I had to do something. It still had a good charge, it still was chargeable, but the board wasn't working, the smart board anymore. As you can see, I can push it all day long, it doesn't even exist. I removed it. I soldered a balance lead onto it, and the only thing you need to do is you got to either make yourself a plug or use an old UpAir charger plug so you can plug it in. Just watch your voltages. Another good idea is to mark your voltages. Alright, now you have to solder banana clips on the end of this so you can plug it into a regular balance charger, because now you have the balance lead and the 2 banana plugs, and booyah, you can charge this and actually balance it, because I think the UpAir's board really doesn't do a good job balancing, and that's why every time you charge this thing, you're going to lose about 5% of its life each time you charge it, and you're going to lose flight time. But if you do the mod, I've done it, it's just as good as the other battery. I just don't have the pretty blinking lights, but the FPV still tells me low battery, land please. Alright, so that's about the stock batteries. To go over the monitor really quick, one of the mods I did was just taking a label maker and labeling everything. I'm an old man, I forget. I also have many other quads. They're all different. They all fly different. They fly about the same, but the way they arm and disarm is different, and all the controls. So do yourself a favor and mark everything down. Also, for $5 from Value Hobby, I picked up a nice cloth sewn, Velcro attached sun shield. You go to the field, it's packed in your bag, you line it up, and it's as easy as pie, no funky cardboard thing or anything, and there you go. You're all set. Alright, so that's pretty much everything on the transmitter. Sun shield, and I haven't done any TX mods inside this baby, just leaving it stock. But that's about it. Another thing I want to talk about is I made some 3D printed parts. These TXs overheat like crazy, especially the stock ones. They start to overheat, they get all blurry and scratchy. That's where you're getting all this baloney from. Everybody's talking about these guys overheat. So you buy a good quality one. Alright? So a good quality one, 24 bucks maybe for a 200. And you can go all the way up to $69 on there, Boss Cam or something, you know, really knock yourself out. But we're trying to keep this drone cheap. That's the idea of it, behind it, and it works. But I got it vented so it lets the heat out. You can also, you don't have to buy this or build it or whatever. You can just Velcro or tie down the stock unit without that aluminum cover on it. That aluminum cover is holding in heat like a baked potato, and all I see is the screen's going blurry after about 5 minutes of flight. That's what the problem is, it's overheating. Another mod that I've done to this is when you buy these, everybody I hear and put it down for a second. Everybody I hear that's been buying the UpAirs, their cameras are broken, you know, right from stock, and they just pull it out of the box and the camera's broken. It's in some big block of foam, and the thing's normally twisted all around, and then people put them on, and some of them are disconnected, and they put them on and they're backwards, and the thing's doing the jitters because it's not rotated in the right position. Remember to check your UpAir. It's got to be right side up. Your serial number's at the bottom of the camera, at least on the integrated ones. I know there's FlySky ones. I have FlySky cameras, but they're on my Phantoms. Okay, this is one of the mods or designs I did. It's a camera lock. It just slides right on, and it locks between the gimbal tail and the camera itself, and it's good for transportation. All right. Another mod people have been talking about, the zip tie mod, right here on the isolators. I'm kind of using them right now. I'm trying to come up with something better. I kind of don't recommend it. This thing is designed that this camera, in case you come down hot on the skids, this is another 4K camera, it will release, and the plug is straight in, so it's supposed to just release. If you got it tied on with something, you got it tied tight, because here's an example. I traded this camera for a bunch of printed parts, and it got busted right here from this high intensity yank. This camera is very heavy, so when it crashes, it yanks right down in its leverage, and it just snaps this. And I've seen it apart. It's on my webpage. It's very hollow. It's only this much, probably about 2 millimeters of plastic holding it on here. It looks thick, but it's deceiving. It's completely hollow to house all the wiring. I plastic soldered this. I got it back together. It works fabulous. So I traded some parts for it. It's fabulous. It's a backup, or maybe I'll sell it. And I also did the USB mod for the camera, so you can get the gimbal stabilized again if you're getting a lot of shaking. And I also cut open a hole here and ground it to get the resistor away from any metal parts. Kind of a thing everybody's been talking about. Alright, so that's the camera lock, the VTX vented cover. Now what else can we talk about? Alright, you don't want to use these batteries anymore. They're $89 to $109 online, and they're failing. They're not working like they should. Let me just shut this one off. I must have turned it on by accident. They're failing, and they're not getting good charge anymore. So what do? Well, again, another thing I designed, the big ass vented fan mounted lipo cover. Alright, this is going to go on the back of the UpAir. Alright, designed to lock in, and you also have these 4 holes. Now you're asking, what do I do with these 4 holes? Alright, another mod. Here's a 40 millimeter computer fan, and at either end of the spectrum on the balance cable you have a positive negative. You actually have 3 positives on a 3-cell battery, because you're going to use any type of battery you want in this now with this door. You can use 4.0s, 5.2s, whatever will fit in the belly of this girl. You can run the LiPo. You can even run a Phantom 2200 if you want, if you just want to fly for a few minutes, you know, just to get some practice. You can use any battery that'll fit in the hull of this, alright? This is a balance lead. They sell these separate. What happens is, I own LiPos, a lot of them, and these break off from me yanking and pulling, drinking and flying like I'm not supposed to, and I arc them out. So I resolder these onto LiPos. So I bought a package of these. They come with the male and female. Problem is, I never had an idea for the female end. Well, now I do. The 40 millimeter fan, and usually end to end is positive, negative, full 12 volts out of the battery, out of a 3-cell. So if I hook it up, don't let me down. If I hook it up, hold on. What do I got? Dead battery here. It's calling me a liar. Oh, I'm pulling the probes out, sorry. Little technical difficulties here. Losing the probes. You have to make sure they line up. Let me get back to that later. But anyways, I'll check it out later. What you do is you plug it into your balance lead. You get a little hole here. Stuff that through. The fan will be mounted on the back of the UpAir like that. And when you close, right before you close the door, you plug in the UpAir to the adapter, and this adapter into the fan. Keep the bird cold, nice and cool. If you're having an overheating problem, not all of them have this problem because the props are dragging down air over the unit, and it will go into these holes. All right, but back to the batteries. I've tested a lot of batteries in the UpAir. Let me take the box off. The 7000 X4 Pro. Bang, it fits. The larger Iris 5200 Multi-Star. Booyah, it fits. If it had enough room, this baby would have over 10,000 milliamps of power, but I haven't figured out how to get them in there yet. But it will work. Anything with an XT connector, because your adapter will be an XT. Also remember, there's two types of 5200s. There's a skinny pack for the Iris. There's a fat pack that I use in my Phantoms. Alright, one's high voltage. One's... God, you caught me on a bad day. Oh, sorry. The bigger they are, high capacity. So there's bigger cells, so they hold more electricity. A little bit better runtime. High voltage is for that oomph and the power. You're not going to get as much flight time. I got 19 minutes out of this. I have not tested these yet, so I cannot back it up. But this one I can back up 19 minutes. This one will probably get 20 easily because of bigger batteries and lower output. Drones don't need a very high output C rating because they're not a helicopter. They're not doing stunts. All right? And of course, my all-time favorite is 8,000 milliamps of power. And you're saying to yourself, well, how do you get that? Two of these $19 batteries. Alright? You're going to stuff them in the UpAir. Do one at a time. Alright? Booyah. They fit in there. Now, how do I connect these? There's a parallel and a serial connector. This is the serial connector. If I'm wrong, somebody can yell at me. If you do one or the other, this is bringing both batteries, positive and negative, together. So it comes out the same voltage, 11.1, but it's coming out 8,000 milliamps of power. If you get another adapter that I'm pretty sure is parallel, you end up with double the voltage, 22.1, and that'll kill the UpAir. So make sure it's this type. Like I said, I probably forgot the name. And just look at it the way it is. All the reds go together and the blacks go together. And this is called the female XT, so single. And these are both males. I know they look like female because this one slides into it, but they're considered the male because the little pins are in there, and this is a female because it's hollow. Alright, so that's that adapter. Now you have all that in the UpAir. How do I get it plugged into the two ports that the battery plugs into, the power inlets? Alright, make sure you mark these, test them and mark them on your battery. On this one, the right hand side is positive, left hand side is negative. I'm assuming they're all the same, but I will not guarantee that. So what do you need? You got to run to the store, the hobby store. You got to get this XT male with the two leads already on it. All right, I'll crack it open for you. All right, this is the way they come, so you don't have all the fun of soldering this together and putting heat shrink. You already got it right here. Alright, now for the other end, you need to buy these. These are not metric. You can find the metric ones, which would work a lot better, but they take a long time to get from China. These are the .250s, the 1/4 inch standard speaker, 14-16 gauge wire. If you go any heavier, the spade connector is way too big. These work fine. They use them on speakers. You can buy a pile of them for a few bucks. Alright? So what you have to do is you have to get these onto here. Now, you can make them look pretty if you want. Put heat shrink on there. Or you can just do it the way I'm going to do it right now. Now, I got nowhere to cut right here. I should use a wire cutter, but I'm going to use my faithful blade that I used to shave with, and I'm going to take care of this in 1 second. It's usually silicone wire. You want to take off about a 1/4 inch. Pop the insulation off. Give me a minute. I'm not going to show you how to cut wire. If you don't know how to cut wire, the last thing you should be doing is playing with a LiPo battery. Alright? And then you want to twirl the wires. Look how beautiful I twirled them. Now, grab your adapters. Well, the spade, oops. Grab the spade connectors. These spade connectors. And slide them on. Get them in that hole. Twist them if you want. I like to try to line them up because we're going to fold. You can either leave them straight or you can like put a little 90 on them. And what you want to do is look at the connector. It's thin on one side because there's metal, and it's hollow on the other because there's no metal. It will fold naturally in that direction. Now, I know you think I'm crazy, but what I got here is a pair of vice grips. Alright, I'm trusting my connection that is not soldered. Alright, so I want to make sure this thing is crimped. Now, a crimping tool ain't gonna do it. Vice grips, I can adjust the bite any way I want. I normally just put them right on there. I'm gonna flatten this baby right out. Use every bit of energy I got. And just that easy. I don't have to worry about it falling apart. Let me twist this one real close again. Alright. I'm going to throw this in on here. I try to get them in the same, try to get them parallel and in the same direction, because like I said, when you want to bend them, they'll bend real easy because they're in the same direction. Alright, same thing. I crosshair this baby right here. 20 tons of power. If you want to do it again, go right ahead. Knock yourself out. I'd rather trust these connections than be flying and the battery loosens up and it falls out of the sky. Alright? So there you go. Instant adapter. So you need a big door. You got the adapter. If you want to run dually batteries, anything from 1800s, 2200s, 24000s, 23000s, whatever you got, double it up. You got to use the right cable though. Serial and parallel, they call it. One way is bad. You're going to burn up this bird because it doesn't have enough energy in it to take 22 volts. So, that's that part of the mod. Now, like I said, if you need to use a regular balance charger for your batteries, you can either use it straight with this, with a couple of bullet connectors, and you can put your charge rate on PB instead of LiPo and do a slow charge that way. You can solder a balance lead on and do it LiPo with a balance. And another thing I'm working on right now is I'm trying to get, I'll show you first, here's a tri-axis connector. I had someone send me these. They're 99 cents right now at my local hardware hobby store, but these are a tri-axis connector. They're made for tri-axis vehicles, car batteries or whatever, the RC cars. I put the vice grips around here. and I squeezed the holy hell out of it. And what happens is these little prongs come out. They just fall right out. They're like a press fit with this little notch here. They pop in, and also they got the banana leads already on it. So what I'm working on is I'm working on a balance connector lead. It's just going to slide right in. Let me hold the black here. I don't want to get juiced. They slide in perfect. I'm going to 3D print a coupler. It'll lock in, be able to charge these batteries right from a LiPo charge, a regular standard charger. Alright? So, I think I've gone over everything with the UpAir. Everything you can do to kind of make your life easy. I have fun with it. You'll have fun with it. 2K, 4K. Do not descend fast. The APM boards can't take it like the DJI. The DJI, I can punch it within 3 feet of the ground. That bitch is up in the air. You can change all your PID settings and everything. Even on this you can, but for some reason, this girl's a little heavy. Especially when you start playing with batteries like this. This is a very heavy battery. So descend slowly. Don't be coming down fast, because this thing's like a brick. It's going to take the camera and everything and rip it apart. I've crashed 3 or 4 times with this, cut through trees. It's still here right now to talk about it. Haven't lost the camera, and I'm just having fun with it. So this is Cruise Roy. I hope you understood everything I was doing here, and I'm out of here.